Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something special, really peeling back the layers on a huge football match. We're talking Paris Saint-Germain versus Real Madrid, July 9th, 2025. And look, this isn't just any old game. We see this as a real measuring stick, a statement match for these two global powerhouses. Our mission today, to take you past the usual headlines, deep into the tactics, the hidden stories that are going to shape this massive encounter. Think of it like getting the inside track, understanding the secrets most fans might miss.
That's exactly right. We know you're curious about what's really happening beneath the surface. It's more than just the score. It's this intricate dance, this tactical chess match playing out. The average fan sees the stars, the moments of brilliance, which is great. But we want to break down the collective effort, the strategic calls that can totally shift the game. So our goal is simple. You take a clear, impactful look at why this match is so compelling, insights that, feel almost prescriptive.
Absolutely. And by the time we're done here, you'll have this understanding that, honestly, will change how you watch the game, how you talk about it. We're not just throwing info at you. We're sharing the secrets of how this is likely to unfold. We're even going to give you a precise match prediction built on, thorough, objective analysis of where these teams are right now. So yeah, get ready. Okay, let's start digging into the heart of it all, of the teams themselves, their dynamics, recent form, the philosophies driving them. And, well, you almost have to start with Real Madrid, don't you? They're coming off another, powerhouse season, solidified their dominance again. What's really striking is their young core. You look at Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., and now Endrick joining the mix. They're not just talented, they look frankly terrifyingly polished, so cohesive already, it feels like a new generation's taken over, but the winning just keeps going.
Yeah, and what's fascinating with Madrid right now is Ancelotti. His mastery in blending that youth with experience is something else. It's not just throwing kids in. It's integrating them, maximizing their explosion while still having the calm heads, maybe Modric or Kroos's successor, dictating things.
Right.
Take Bellingham. He's not just a midfielder. He's almost like a second forward sometimes, making those runs, pulling defenders. And Vinicius Jr., he's added so much polish, his finishing, his choices. He's gone from raw talent to a truly clinical player. Then there's Endrick, even young. He brings this disruptive energy off the bench, changes the whole rhythm, forces defenses to react immediately.
That mix sounds almost, unfair to other teams, but let's throw in the big hypothetical, the one everyone's talking about, Kylian Mbappé potentially moving to Madrid. If that happens, as many suggest, what does that actually do to an attack that's already so strong? Does it make them unstoppable, or could it maybe, just maybe, disrupt that cohesion a little?
Right. If Mbappé lands there, you're looking at a front line combining speed, finishing, and just sheer footballing IQ on a level that's, rarely seen. His ability to play central, drift left, it gives Ancelotti incredible flexibility. Imagine his runs, pulling defenders, opening space for Bellingham centrally, or him linking with Vinicius, just devastating speed. It would mean, maybe fewer touches per player, but each touch becomes surgical. Disruption, I think, minimal. Players that good tend to lift others, and Ancelotti is a master at managing egos. It basically transforms an elite attack into something potentially unstoppable they could score from anywhere.
Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting for me, because on the other side, you have PSG. Now, the easy assumption might be, okay, Mbappé leaves, they get weaker, but that's not necessarily the full story, is it? They seem to have used this moment to restructure, build a different kind of identity, maybe less predictable, maybe even more resilient.
Yeah, connecting that thought, Luis Enrique's impact at PSG has been really profound. He's clearly moved away from that superstar-centric model. What you see now is much more disciplined, more collective, a coherent strategy. It's less about waiting for magic, more about a system. High press, possession. Everyone knows their job off the ball, too. And you see it crystal clear in midfield. That pairing of Vitinha and Zaire Emery, it's gelling beautifully. They cover so much ground, break up play, recycle possession, start attacks. Their energy, their understanding, that's the engine now.
And what about the new faces fitting into that? Does it feel like they're adding to that collective vision?
Well, the additions, players like Kang-in Lee, or maybe João Neves, if that happens, they fit the Enrique mold perfectly. Technically strong, high work rate, tactically smart. Kang-in Lee offers creativity, goal threat, but crucially, he tracks back. He works. Neves, from what we've seen, is tenacious, wins the ball, moves it quickly, perfect fit alongside the others. These aren't just squad fillers. They're pieces chosen to reinforce that structure.
Yeah.
So PSG isn't necessarily weaker. They're different. They're building something that looks more like a complete team, harder to break down, less reliant on one guy.
Right. Okay. Let's shift gears now to the key tactical battlegrounds. This is where the game gets won or lost, isn't it? The real chess match. And the first thing that just jumps out at me is Real Madrid's high line. They love pushing up, squeezing the pitch. But how does that cope with PSG's pace on the counter? That's a massive question. It feels like such a high-risk, high-reward approach. It could suffocate PSG, or it could leave Madrid wide open.
Well, that's probably the critical question for Madrid. Because PSG, even with Mbappé potentially, has players who can absolutely kill you on the break. You think about Ousmane Dembele, Bradley Barcola out wide, electrifying pace. He can carry the ball 50, 60 yards, turns defense into attack instantly. Essentially, maybe Gonzalo Ramos, maybe Kolo Muani, smart runs, clinical finishing. But specifically, you have to watch Dembele. His unpredictability, that burst of speed, he could exploit the tiniest gap. If Mendy or maybe Fran Garcia pushes up just a bit too high, Dembele's looking for that ball over the top, or he'll cut inside. It's not just speed. It's the timing from PSG. Madrid's defensive coordination, their communication, it'll be under immense pressure. Now, on the flip side, Madrid's game plan will heavily feature controlling possession. That's fundamental for them. It's not just for show. It's defense. Keep the ball, deny the opponent chances. A lot of that control, especially deeper, will probably come from whoever fills that Cruz-type role. Maybe Camavinga, maybe Valverde. That player is key. Shielding the defense, quick distribution, starting attacks from deep. They're the pivot.
They dictate the rhythm, maintain the shape, and crucially, stop those quick turnovers that PSG just loves. Their counterpress has to be spot on.
Okay, speaking of defense, let's poke around for vulnerabilities. Madrid's attack, midfield control, yeah, impressive. But no team is perfect, right? Even Madrid isn't totally impenetrable. We've seen teams find ways.
You're absolutely right. Generally solid, yes, but there are areas PSG will look to exploit. Like, if Militao isn't quite 100% back to his best after injury, or maybe Alaba isn't as sharp, that could create a little gap centrally. Their recovery speeds, maybe their dominance in the air could be just slightly off. PSG strikers, Ramos or Kolo Muani, they'll try to isolate them, use physicality, maybe pull them out of position. These big games, they just magnify any tiny dip in form or fitness. PSG will be looking for any hesitation, any misstep. It's about potentially disrupting that overall defensive cohesion. And then look at PSG's backline. It's definitely evolving under Enrique, getting more discipline, like we said. But it's probably still a bit more of a work in progress compared to Madrid's established unit. And there are individual tendencies Madrid will absolutely try to exploit. Specifically, Achraf Hakimi, brilliant going forward, fantastic energy, bombs down that wing. But naturally, he leaves space behind him. That's just his game. Madrid, especially Vinicius Jr., will be aiming to hit that space.
Quick switches of play, try to isolate Vinicius against a recovering defender or a midfielder slow to cover. It's a calculated risk from Enrique letting Hakimi go, and you can bet Madrid will try to make him pay for it.
Which brings us neatly to what I think is the defining duel of the whole match. Vinicius Jr. versus Achraf Hakimi. Just think about it. Two players, blistering pace, incredible skill, both want to attack constantly. Their battle on that flank, it's not a sideshow. It's like a mini-game reflecting the whole tactical fight. One mistake from either, one burst of speed gets past the other, one perfect tackle. The whole dynamic of the match could just flip. It's going to be absolutely fascinating to watch that unfold over 90 minutes. It's skill, but it's also a mental battle.
Well, that matchup alone is almost worth the price of admission, isn't it? Vinicius will constantly look for that one-on-one, feints, dribbles, trying to get to the byline or cut inside. Hakimi has to balance that attacking instinct with pure defensive discipline. He'll rely on his own speed to recover, sure, but the support he gets from his midfielder, from the centre-back sliding over, that's crucial. Any tiny delay in PSG's cover in that channel, Vinicius is in. But if Hakimi manages to contain Vinicius and still get forward effectively, that could seriously blunt Madrid's main threat on that side. It's just a massive high-stakes duel. Okay, so, prediction time. Putting the emotion away, looking purely at the structure, the momentum, how they're playing right now. My honest prediction for July 9, I think Real Madrid edges this 2-1. I see it being incredibly tight, very tactical, probably fiery, full of drama right to the end. No blowout here. It's a reflection of how good both teams are. Scoring-wise, I'd probably back Vinicius Jr. to get one from Madrid. Maybe one of those runs down the left, cutting in, that classic finish he has now. And keep an eye on Endrick off the bench.
He just has that knack for a big goal, doesn't he? Maybe a late one against tired legs. For PSG, I could see Dembele or maybe Barcola scoring. Probably from exactly what we talked about, a sharp counter, exploiting a mistake or a transition. But bottom line, why Madrid by one? For me, it comes down to their depth, their experience in these massive European nights, and just that incredible calm they seem to have under pressure. They often just find a way.
That's a bold call, 2-1. And it's interesting how you've built that prediction up piece by piece. It really is based on the structure, the dynamics we've talked through, not just a gut feeling. Makes you really appreciate all the factors beyond just the names on the team sheet, doesn't it? How the systems clash.
But of course, The beauty of football is it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
That's the magic. Our analysis gives us a good picture and informed perspective, sure. But the game itself, it always throws curveballs. One red card, maybe the dodgy penalty call, one key injury early on. Boom, the whole script changes instantly. And that's exactly why we love it, right? Even after all the talk, all the analysis, we're still captivated. It's the human drama, the unexpected moments.
Exactly. Despite all the deep dives, all the predictions, it's that inherent drama that keeps us absolutely glued. You just never know until that final whistle.
So look, as you get ready to watch this, or even just chat about it afterwards, here are a few things to really keep an eye on. They'll tell you the deeper story. Watch those midfield battles closely. That's where the control ebbs and flows. Who's winning the ball? Who's starting the attacks? Keep an eye on the wide overlaps. How are the fullbacks like Hakimi getting forward? What space are they creating? Or maybe, what space are they leaving behind? And definitely watch the substitutions, especially around the 70-minute mark. That's when you see the coaches playing their final cards. The real tactical secrets often come out then, trying to find that winning edge.
That's brilliant advice. Really helps you appreciate the chess match underneath it all, doesn't it? Knowing what to look for just elevates the whole experience. So, as you look ahead to July 9th, maybe think about this. Which specific secrets tactical element we discussed today grabs you the most? How do you personally see that playing out on the day? How might it shift the story of this huge game? Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into PSG versus Real Madrid. We really hope you feel primed and ready for what should be an absolutely spectacular match.